JJJinks!
Truck Stop Knives!
So I'm sure everyone has seen those credit card style knives before. They kind of look like this. They fit in your wallet and you can transform it into a knife like shown here. I picked this one up on my trip back from Florida. Spotted it in some gas station somewhere, and even though I already have one of these and they can be had very cheaply, I just had to get it because of it was a tool for ninjas. Look at that funky website logo. And you know it's for ninjas because it shows some guy rock climbing. Right. And it came in a triangular shaped package, which is pretty unique. I haven't seen that before. So the way these work is you unlock the blade by rotating this piece, and then the blade comes out. Then you close the two sides onto it, and they snap into place. And you got yourself a little slicey knife. Now, I've actually used one of these. It's in a much older video when I was preparing food with my novelty knives. And it actually performed really well because the blade stock is so incredibly thin, which it has to be so it fits in your wallet. And that one was a little bit different than this one. Oh, and you got like some shurikens there too. In that the blade was sort of diagonal across the card, and that's the one that I usually see the most. So that's the other reason why I wanted to pick up this one, was because I haven't seen it before where the blade is just kind of in the center like this. Rotating the disc is not always easy. There we go. Secure. And I want to keep this packaging because I think it's funny. Well, then that got me thinking, I can't just get that and review it by itself. There's all kinds of other things meant to go into your credit card slot, tactical wallet card things. So I got this one to have a look at. I've seen a few different varieties of these online where you get all these different tools that you basically punch out of the card and use them. And this was a 2-pack, so I figured, oh, that's perfect. I can punch all the tools out of one of them and still have the other intact for my collection. Now, there's nothing really that came with the packaging to tell you what any of this stuff is, but I think we can figure it out. Well, I see on the top there is what looks like a saw blade. I'm not really sure what to take out first. I guess one of these circular things, which I'm actually not sure what those are. Maybe it's something for fishing because it's there with all the little fish hooks. Oh my, okay. So that bends, and then I'm just gonna wiggle it until it snaps. Maybe it needs more range. Oh, there we go. One part detached. Man, these things don't want to come off, which is probably a good thing. You don't want them to fall out until you're ready for them, right? There we go. So we have a little double barbed fish hook with some extra barbs from when it was held in. Okay, what next? Let me try to get this one out. Got it. Now this part at the top looks like it could be a saw, like you're supposed to tie string through each of these sides. But then how does that work? So this is why I need like some kind of instructional video or something. I wouldn't know how to use this stuff. Yeah, so here's the saw. Some kind of saw, maybe, I guess. And then these look like they could be used for like sewing needles, maybe. Let's just get this whole corner piece off. All right. So I guess, yeah, sewing needle and more fish hooks and things. What I'm trying to get to is this saw, because that looks really interesting to me. Here we go. Come on. Yeah, rather aggressive teeth, and there's like little teeth on this side. And then we have some interesting things going on in here. It looks like this big piece is like sort of a trident. And then you've got this piece which has 4. It's a tetradent and an arrowhead. And then these little tiny sharp thingies, which I don't know what you'd use those for. maybe little tiny arrows. Well, the arrowhead's only held in place with one piece of metal. So there's your arrowhead. The tetradent. You gotta have patience with these things. And here is the tetradent with spiky things. All right, we got one more fish hook to remove here. And we have our barbed trident. Now, if I were in a survival situation, this is clearly the first tool that you go for. You can either tie a stick to it and kind of jab it like a traditional trident, or perhaps you could tie a stick to it like this and use it sideways. For what? I don't know. That's your
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
22-piece survival card. Of course, after you disassemble it, you kind of have to keep track of all these pieces. So it's nice to have this handy little bag, I guess. So then I was shopping around for a phone case. I had bought and used a couple and I just didn't like them, so I went with something simple that I knew I would like. But as I was looking, I saw this. The X-Ranger Premium Smartphone Case. And what you get is... come on. Holy crap. You get one of these cards. This one's a little bit different from what I usually see. And you get a phone case. It's a little disappointing because I kind of wanted this, like a Swiss Army phone case. But that's not what you get. You just get this simple looking phone case with some pattern on the inside and on the outside. But what makes this phone case so cool is that it's got a kickstand. And I know you're thinking like, okay, big deal. Lots of phone cases have kickstands. But the kickstand also reveals the opening to a hidden compartment where you can store your survival card. I love that. That is so cool to have a hidden compartment. I mean, you could put like real credit cards in there or maybe some cash. If you wanted to, why would you want to? I don't know. Why would you want to put a survival card in your phone? But you can. And it wasn't that expensive. It was like $12 or $13 or something, and it came with the card, which has a whole bunch of stuff on it. I'm not really going to go through it. And it's a real simple thing. There's just a space between the rubbery part and the outer plastic shell. You can even separate the two. And that's where the card goes. I love it. The Olexar X-Ranger. And just as I was wrapping things up, I completely forgot that I also picked up this box from Ispandi. It's got kind of a lion mane with a lion thing going on. There we go. Whole bunch of stuff in here. First, one thing, you get some shoestring, and you get a little catalog that tells you about your product. You get a card tool, a little keychain whistle, and you get a little plastic slip that holds one of these multi-card tool things. And you get a knife. And the packaging is kind of nice, actually. This is dense foam to hold everything in, and the box is quite secure, as you saw me struggle opening it. So it's one of these gift box things with all kinds of goodies. Don't really care about the whistle. I don't really care much for this, but it is a card tool, and that's what this video is about. This one's kind of different from the ones I've seen before. This one's got sort of a, I guess that's a protractor? Well, it says right there, doesn't it? Protractor. Key ring hole. You've got a metric ruler for a change. Here you have a wire cutter, so that's kind of sharp-ish. Eyeglass opener and screw puller. Okay. Down here we have box opener and simply the word cutter. And on the other side you get the logo, and here your ruler is in American units. A bunch of other stuff. Kind of neat that they label it though. Spokes. Okay. The knife has two things on it. One is just a simple blade. Kind of a unique minimalist mechanism here. I guess that's sort of a liner lock, but it's there's no outer scale to it, and so you can just kind of see how it works. Push this down to fold the knife back in, and it pops up to lock it when fully opened. That's how liner locks work. And you got your fully exposed blade stop pin, kind of a, not quite a spidey hole, but it's like a spidey half circle. Down at the bottom you have a little carabiner style clip. I was really interested in this one. So on this side you get this funky looking multi-tool bit that kind of looks like an angry, some kind of an angry creature. All kinds of stuff on it. You got a flathead screwdriver, a seatbelt cutter, a little short serrated blade here, bottle opener, another wire cutter, and another D-shaped Spidey D-hole thing. Kind of interesting how they have one of these on each side. That's kind of cool. But what I really got this whole kit for was the card tool. This little thing actually packs quite a few tools. Up at the top here, we have a bottle opener screwdriver deal. It's kind of neat that it sits in there like that, I think. And of course we have a compass, which doesn't really work that well. Little magnifier. Here you have a little ferro rod. And in the back end, here's your knife. It's mostly serrated. It's got a little tiny gut hook thing and one of those hex screw thingies that I'm not really sure how you could comfortably use it on this piece. Very, very generous sharpening choil. Not very comfortable, but it's better than nothing. And if you hold it like this, you can stick your finger into the gut hook. Neat. And over here, we have tweezers. A little tiny toothpick. And you might notice that there's also this rough metal thing, which the piece of paper it came with says is a knife grinder. And here is a picture of somebody demonstrating how to use the knife grinder. I don't think it's gonna work very well because it's flush. So I'm just scraping the plastic. What a ripoff. These manuals always have something fun in them, don't they? Here's a constitutional diagram. A, bottle opener, corkscrew. Corkscrew? Knife, open, screw tool. Seek survival. What? Fire stick. Handle? They're counting that as a thing? They're calling the tweezers a clip. And they're showing you a picture of fruit. You can eat a peach with the toothpick. That's the ispendy, whatever, card tools. You get this whole entire kit for what did I pay? It was like 12 or 15 bucks or something like that. Well, not a bad thing to have in the collection. And last but not least, I couldn't really see myself making this video without looking at the big daddy, the Victorinox Swiss card light. I got the light version. Not light because it's lighter, light because it has a light in it. Packaging gets an A+, gives you the functions in different languages. There's an exploded view. It wasn't that cheap. I paid, gosh, what did I pay for this? I think it was like $20 or $25. I could be wrong. And here's a picture of the founder. So in the tradition of Victorinox knives, you get the tweezers. This is the same kind that you get from any of their other multi-tool type knives. But that's about the only similarity. You have also a pin. I feel like I would lose that immediately. Fortunately, if I can find out how to get it back in. Fortunately, it's got quite a lot of tension on it, so it won't randomly fall out and stab you in the butt. And this is also kind of different. Over here, we have a ballpoint pen. And that's actually really nice to have in a survival situation so that you can leave notes. And down in the corner, we have a magnifying glass. I don't know if you'd be able to start a fire using the sunlight with something that small, but you could try, I guess. And then on the bottom, we have a 4-way screwdriver set, a large and small Phillips head and a large and small flathead, and it sports the Victorinox logo. Very handsome. With a convenient little thumb nick. It's got a pretty big pair of scissors. Scissors on a spring, so you can cut stuff with that. And of course, we've got the blade. It's basically a pen knife. Very, very thin, very, very sharp. It's Victorinox. Yeah, we pretty much know how their blades feel, right? I would just be afraid of losing track of which edge is the cutting edge, because it's such a thin blade that I might accidentally put my finger here and try to cut like this, and then just slice my finger right open. Of course, you could just kind of look closely and not do that, which is one use you could use the magnifying glass for. And of course, you can do all of this in the dark, because here we have the battery for the LED light, which is very kind of disappointingly not very luminous. I kind of expected more. Even though it's a single LED, I just feel like it should be brighter. Maybe the battery is low, but I'm not really sure how to change it. Maybe I could figure it out. Oh, you know what? No tool necessary. You just pull it further back and it comes right out with the battery. So this thing just kind of holds the battery and slides it to its contact for the light. Now to get it back in. There we go. And I do like how the whole thing is translucent, so you can see what's in there and what's not. And you can get these in your choice of colors. They have green, blue, kind of a dark gray, and the classic red here. So there we have it. My neat little collection of credit card knives and tools and things and phones.